Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Star Wars spin, so I want to see about the unusual suspect. This guy made this video like back in early 2017 when only Rogue One had came out and it was pretty recent. So yeah, there wasn't really any of the new TV shows or like The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker that we have now, or even Solo. So a lot of things have changed in the Star Wars universe since then, and I think one of these ideas has already happened pretty recently. Okay, and we're going to be talking about some of his other ideas. I'm talking about if I would like them or if this could happen or something. I don't know, just because I think it actually might be interesting. Because I'm always looking forward to the future of Star Wars with all these new TV shows and stuff coming out. You know, any of these things could happen. Let's go.
Number 5.
Okay, let's go potting.
What better way to start my list with an idea based off a scene that nobody likes?
I like the pod race.
Yeah, I know I'm in the minority here, guys, but damn it, I love the pod race scene in episode 1. I love the speed, the explosions, the sort of barbaric coliseum.
Yeah, I like it. It's a little bit
nature
long,
has
but
with how utterly dangerous it is and how entertaining the crowd found it. I would just love to see a movie that explored that culture. Think Gladiator meets Mad Max Fury Road. The movie would star a budding young pod racer pilot, so kind of like a more mature Anakin. Yippee! And minus the yippies. Anyway, the film would be set, let's say, between episodes 6 and 7, as we haven't really explored that time frame yet.
Well, now we have explored that time frame, but this will be pretty cool to explore. It'll be pretty awesome. I mean, I think maybe it could be cool to have it like go long before episode 1, maybe like the High Republic era or something. It doesn't even have to have any Jedi in it. It just kind of maybe cool to see the state of the galaxy around then with the High Republic in that. And maybe it could be cool to see their systems that don't really get focused on by the Republic. You know, you could get some places in the Outer Rim that the Republic didn't really focus on.
And our protagonist, a daring young pod racer prodigy, would rise through the ranks and become the latest hotshot in the pod racing scene. The First Order could then approach him, ask him to be a sort of mascot for them. He naturally turns them down because the First Order are dicks, and then he has to race for his life, and then he'd eventually join the rebels. And if you want to add a bit of consistency, why not make this young pilot none other than Poe Dameron? Yeah, this could easily be an origin movie for Oscar Isaac's character. And much like Anakin, Poe could have attained his piloting skills from pod racing.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
It wouldn't be on Tatooine though, definitely. I know a lot of these footage is from Tatooine, so I'm always just picturing this movie just being on Tatooine all the time. But there's plenty of other places that have pod racing in them. I just really think of it. Like, didn't the first episode of Star Wars Resistance have pod racing in it? I don't remember the episode very well, but I feel like it had like some sort of racing. Whatever. I don't think they're gonna do an origin story for Poe. If they are, it's not gonna be about pod racing. I don't think Poe is familiar with pod racing. I feel like some sort of book explored Poe's origins. And I don't think it was anything to do with pod racing. So.
Added a bunch of side characters like some fellow racing rivals. I mean, you know this bit from episode 1?
Mom, we sold the pod. Look at all the money we have.
Yeah, do you know who Qui-Gon sold the pod to?
Sebulba.
Yeah, so added Sebulba because why the fuck not?
I guess you could see Sebulba.
Pose a possible love interest, add in a mentor figure, throw BB-8 in there for company, and you could end up with a fun, action-packed racing movie. I could just visualize the poster with this one.
And nowadays, it's going to be a show, of course. You know, they were going to go with on how to make just loads of spin-off movies, but now all going to be spin-off shows about characters and stuff, so maybe there could be a pod racing show. You know, I wouldn't mind this, you know, it could be pretty cool. You know, BB-8 is definitely probably going to be in there. They're probably going to shove him on in. I mean, he was actually pretty big in the sequels. Like, he was going all over the place, whatever the plot wanted him to go.
With BB-8 by his side, either side of him, his and Sebulba's pods going at it. On the left side of the poster is a hot alien chick with a blaster, and on the other side is a mentor figure with his arms up folded looking badass. And at the bottom of the poster, it'll read the tagline.
Now this is pod racing.
Yeah.
Royalties, please. Number 4.
Let's go.
Hey, stop right there. He's blind. Is he deaf? I said stop right there.
Okay, so when I heard that Donnie Yen was going to be in Rogue One, my nuanced first response went something akin to this. I was a very happy man. But I also remembered hearing that Iko Uwais was going to be in episode 7, and not only did he not hit anything, he didn't even get a line of dialogue. I mean, why go through all that trouble of getting one of the best silver screen martial artists in the world, only to have him stand there? JJ, you cock tease. So yeah, I was cautiously optimistic about Donnie Yen. I mean, would they actually let him do anything? Fuck yeah, they did. Yeah, Donnie Yen was all I wanted him to be in this movie.
Yeah, it's actually been a really long time since I've seen Rogue One, and that's next on my list for a Star Wars movie I want to do in a watch party. You know, I have done episode 1, 2, and 3 and solo watch parties earlier this year, and I guess I just took a break after that on my Star Wars movie watching parties. But I'm gonna go back to them probably either this month, July or August. I'm definitely gonna watch Rogue One before Andor comes out, because what kind of bitch would I be if I'm not? Like, come on, it's the perfect time to watch Rogue One right now before Andor comes out. You know, I wanted to believe it as soon before Andor as possible as well, just so I'm kind of fresh up on the character and all that, because you know I kind of forget what even really happens in Rogue One. What did Cassian or what did Chirrut Nui even do in Rogue One? I don't even know, man. I remember the Force was with me, Perky did the end, but other than that, I forgot.
Wait, badass. He did his own choreography, so none of that shitty Hollywood style of filming action scenes. And he was surprisingly funny as well.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm blind.
That's funny.
So is it any wonder that I want a Chirrut Imwe movie? Now, first of all, I have to address the obvious. You see, Imwe is, indisposed, so this would have to be a prequel to Rogue One. And this would really be quite beneficial to Rogue One, because a common complaint against the film was that the characters, whilst interesting, were very fleshed out. Chirrut in particular, because I have nothing but questions about this guy. Why is he so in touch with the Force? How did he become blind? Was he a Jedi? Did he have a master? How did he end up on Jeddah? How did he meet, that guy?
Wait,
What was his name
what's his name? What's his name? I can get his name. No, I forgot his name. God damn it! I know the other names are Jinner, so of course Cassian, and we all know him. But and it's Chirrut Imwe. I think it's Chirrut Imwe. You know, I guess people know those 3 names, but after that, Kate Whistle. Okay, I guess yeah. A Bodhi Rook. Okay, and then there's that. Okay, I can't remember from my life, man.
Oh, and this goes without saying. This proposed film would have Donnie Yen do what he does best.
Oh yeah.
Imagine that, but with a lightsaber.
I can't wait.
So yeah, take all this money, shove it in Mr. Yen's bank account.
I don't think Chirrut was a Jedi, but it was something good to have him with a lightsaber, you know. But it's probably not going to happen. And we have the Cassian Andor show, which is, yeah, I mean it's coming. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't make a Chirrut Imwe movie or show or something like that. Whatever. He could appear in the Cassian Andor show, right? Did Cassian Andor and Chirrut Imwe meet first in Rogue One? I'm pretty sure they did, but maybe they didn't. I don't know. Like, guys, let me down in the comments below, because if they, you know, if they didn't first meet and they knew each other prior to this, then he could appear in the Andor show. So yeah.
And make some magic.
Is your foot all right?
Number 3.
I'm gonna hug you and oil you and care for you and make sure you never get away ever again.
Please kill me.
I guess that droid is really going to serve his master tonight.
If any franchise can finally deliver an amazing video game to film adaptation, it's Star Wars. Also, this would allow us to see a side of Star Wars we've never seen before in film. And for those who don't know, Knights of the Old Republic takes place about 4,000 years before the events of the films, and centers around a Sith Lord by the name of Malak, who seeks a powerful weapon called the Starforge, which
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of like Starkiller Base draws energy from a nearby star. But instead of just being a Death Star clone, it uses this power along with the power of the Force to create an endless supply of ships, droids, and other items of warfare.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Basically, it's what these guys at Wet Dream's about. Now, the main cast of Knights of the Old Republic is where the game shines. You've got a ragtag group of heroes that are memorable, but also open to a lot of interpretation from actors. And casting this proposed film is something that fans have been playing around with ever since the game came out. Like, Ordo would be played by Stephen Lang, Bastila could be played by Haley Atwell, Olga Kurylenko could be Juhani, Amy Rossum as Mission, Danny Glover as Jolie, Nathan Fillion as Kath, Mark Strong as Malik, and the protagonist... oh, could be anyone. Maybe cast an unknown actor for that one. Oh, and you can't forget HK-47. For him, just get Christopher Tabori, the original voice actor, back, and you're good to go.
Am I to accompany you
Yeah,
now?
it's cool.
Shall I
They're
do
remaking the Kotor game, which is gonna be pretty cool. Apparently, it's a PS5 exclusive. So, damn it, stupid. Hopefully, you can get on the Xbox Series X because hopefully I'm gonna get one of those. That'd be so cool. I really want to play it. And if it is confirmed to come to Xbox, I probably will get the original game. Maybe. I've been thinking about that for a while. I don't know if I'm ever going to get it, but I could eventually get it and play on the gaming channel. Would that be something that you guys will be a fan of? Hopefully.
something for you?
Now, because we're talking about adapting a 30-plus hour game,
30
there'd have to be a lot
hours.
removed. When you have a cast that's this big, giving ample screen time to all of them is going to be pretty insurmountable in just 2 hours. So I can actually see splitting this film into 2 parts. You know, in the same manner of these movies. Only this time the decision would make sense. Part 1 would introduce our heroes and end just after that big reveal, and after that certain character gets captured. You know, kind of like Empire Strikes Back with its big reveal.
Wait, did someone get captured in the middle of KOTOR? I mean, I don't know. I don't bloody play. I didn't play the game. This feels weird. Whatever. It's stupid.
And when that certain character gets captured,
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
yeah, I think they get the point. Now, I can't imagine this will ever get made, but I said exactly the same thing about episode 7, and you guys will hound me about that till the day I die. So I'm not making that mistake again. Knights of the Old Republic, the movie, coming soon. Please? Please? Number 2.
Oh yeah, amazing movie.
So, I seem to be making a habit of wanting movies made about dead guys, but, here's the thing. I don't think Windu is dead. Okay, at first glance, you'd assume he met his maker there, but let's really analyse this. What could have killed Mace here? And there's 3 CODs in question, so
Yeah,
let's go
everyone's
through
been
each of
analysing
them
the
and
same for
debunk
years.
them. Firstly, his arm is chopped off. Now, this would definitely cause a crap ton of harm in the real world. Naturally, you'd lose a fuck ton of blood and promptly die. However, Windu's arm is cut off with a lightsaber, and as we've seen several times in Star Wars, this doesn't cause much in the way of harm. The reason being is that because of the heat a lightsaber generates, any injuries sustained
It got the
before
end of the
using
blade,
one
guys.
almost instantly cauterize. I mean, this dude bleeds from his arm being cut off, but there's a popular theory out there that this is because his circulatory system is different from humans. I mean, his ass is on his face. after all. It seems
I couldn't
pretty
think that was
other parts of
ours,
his
but
body
that's
would be
so
different too. But for humans, chopped off limbs in Star Wars are a no biggie. Experts say that an atypical response to a limb amputation will go something akin to this.
'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't.
Most of
Well,
them,
what's
yeah.
that then? Just a flesh wound.
So, no problem there.
I'm invincible! You're a loony.
So that leads me to Windu getting a fistful of force lightning. But immediately I can dismiss this as Luke in episode 6 gets shocked for far longer than Windu does, and almost immediately he recovers. So yeah, no chance of death from that. I mean, I guess it could be argued that because Palpatine is younger, his lightning would be
It's the same power, in
stronger,
my
but
opinion.
I don't know, it looks pretty damn strong in episode 6. I guess this point's a bit open-ended. So that leaves the fall, and yeah, it's a big drop. But we know fine well Mace can survive long falls.
Look at
We've
that
seen
one,
it
man.
firsthand.
That's
This fall, of
that's
course, is a bit bigger, but there are plenty of speeders down here. Mace could have easily grabbed on one on the way down. I mean, if a Padawan can do it, I don't see why a Master can't. Granted, he'd be missing an arm and be suffering from both mental and literal shock. Yeah, I'm not here to debate whether Mace does survive. All I'm saying is that his encounter with Sidious has a slight possibility of survival. And because of this open-endedness, it opens the door to a Mace Windu film. Samuel L. Jackson would naturally reprise his role, and the film would begin where he's seen in episode 3 left off. So in the same manner as the beginning of The Two Towers, the scene would play out, but the perspective would change. We'd follow Mace on his way down. He'd survive the fall, but he'd be beat up as hell. And we would follow him as he narrowly escapes Coruscant. Now, I know consistency would be tough here, as Samuel L. Jackson is over a decade older now, but we've seen many examples of actors digitally altered to make them look younger with surprisingly convincing effects.
Yeah, Star Wars does a lot now. You know, the new Kenobi show. They made Obi-Wan Anakin actually look pretty young there in episode 5 of Kenobi, so they could probably do that with Mace Windu. That would be possible.
But this effect would only be used in the first 10 or so minutes of the film. Because once Windu escapes, we'd then cut to 10 years later where Mace would be in exile, much in the same way as Obi-Wan and Yoda. And my idea is that I'd be part of a community, and the film would be kind of like Star Wars meets Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, where the Empire would show up and these defenseless people would ask Mace to defend them. Windu would refuse. No, I used to be a Jedi, but no more. I need to stay hidden. I'm a wanted man. Something would then spur Windu into action, like the Empire committing some heinous act right in front of him, and then we'd see him kick some stormtrooper ass. He'd also enlist the help of some other warriors, again, like the Seven Samurai. And this callback to that film would make sense because samurai are often cited as a huge inspiration for Jedi Knights. Also, more importantly, this would be an older, more grizzled version of Mace Windu. Windu, after all, lost everything, so he'd be a drunk, he'd be depressed, he'd be a complete wreck of a man. And do you see where I'm going with this? This would allow Samuel L. Jackson to truly shine as the character. Jackson is one of the most charismatic actors to have ever lived, but the reason we love him so much is because he's nuts.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Oh.
But as you all know, in the prequels, Jackson's performance is a tad more subdued.
Bring him before us, then. May the Force be with us all, and our worst fears have been realized.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
Now, I'm not saying Jackson isn't allowed to play a calmer, more peaceful character. I mean, he is a Jedi. It makes perfect sense why he's like this. But come on, him getting angry and going insane and everything is why we love Mr. Jackson. So seeing a version of Mace Windu complete with all the Samuel L. Jackson isms would be so cool to see. That, and it'd be amazing to see a movie where a grey Jedi was the lead character.
Yeah.
Because the movie would also explore Windu's relation to the Force and how the Jedi Council might have been wrong in its teachings. Oh, and throw in a bunch of other characters and Easter eggs for the fans while you're at it. Like maybe have a scene with Windu mentally communicating with Yoda on Dagobah. Have a scene where Windu gets a new arm, akin to how Luke does at the end of Empire.
Yeah.
Maybe we could also see Windu build himself a new lightsaber since he lost his old one. Hell, maybe have Windu run into
That's fair.
Ahsoka. It'd be cool to see her live-action debut. Possibilities are just
Oh,
endless with this one.
well,
Mace
we have
Windu.
seen our live action debut in 2020 with The Mando, Season 2. Oh yeah. And we're gonna go on a different. We'll get Ahsoka show, so.
A Star Wars story. Samuel L. Jackson apparently loved playing Windu, so let's give the dude another crack at it. In the right hands, this could be awesome.
This party's over. Motherfucker.
Okay. So, would I like a Mace Windu movie or a show? No. I think I'm sick of Disney bringing back old Star Wars characters. It's gotten really annoying really quick. Okay, we you know, they brought back Maul years ago, and yeah, that was fine, yeah. But now they brought back Palpatine, they brought back Boba, and now no one died from a bloody stab wound. Reva survived from a stab wound twice, and the Grand Inquisitor survived from a stab wound in the show. No one dies, okay? No one dies. Can we just kill off people, okay? I mean, yeah, oh my god, man. Okay, I know it's kind of likely that Mace Windu survives. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but just come on, focus on new characters, Disney. Come on, like, yeah, let's go to number 1.
And the number 1 Star Wars spin-off I want to see is... Okay, first of all, let's set the scene and head to the end of episode 3. Obi-Wan has witnessed the birth of baby Luke and Leia. Leia is taken to Alderaan to grow up as a princess, and Luke is taken to Tatooine whilst Obi-Wan watches over him. For 19 years. What the hell was he up to this whole time? Yeah, much like everyone else, I am dying to see an Obi-Wan movie set between episodes 3 and 4. Now, apart from looking after Luke and one particular episode of Star Wars Rebels, there is one hint we get as to what Obi-Wan is up to.
An old friend has learned the path to immortality. One who has returned from the netherworld of the Force. Your old master. Qui-Gon.
Wow, you mean Obi-Wan might be able to talk to his old master? Wait, there's only 4 minutes left in the movie. Huh. And check out what Yoda says here too.
How to commune with him, I will teach you.
Whoa, Yoda's gonna teach him as well? Why haven't we seen anything from this? This scene has always confused me. They set up future events of Obi-Wan training with Yoda, but over a decade later, and we still don't have anything. And for those who are thinking, well, maybe the reason nothing came of this is because Ewan McGregor's not interested in playing Obi-Wan again. Well...
I'd very much like to do one too. I think the story between episode 3 and episode 4, I think there's a story there. I think that's
and he comes back for the role, boys.
So I ask, why hasn't this film been made yet?
It has been made.
Everything's
bitch.
in place. The fans want it. McGregor's up for it. It seemingly was set up to happen. So here's my personal pitch for the film. It would begin about 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, and Obi-Wan would be training with
No, 10 years.
Yoda, and eventually he'd commune with Qui-Gon's ghost. Side note, Liam Neeson should be about 2.
Yeah,
There'd be a big emotional scene of how Obi-Wan feels responsible for what happened to Anakin.
Well, that will probably happen in the first episode of Obi-Wan Season 2. That will probably happen. I feel like it's gonna happen, guys. Okay, deal with it. Okay, Obi-Wan's gonna have a Season 2, I presume so, although I don't really want it to. I wish, you know, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon just talked in Obi-Wan's 8th season, episode 6, it'd just be over with. But no, they have to make some more, don't they?
Sorry he is to his master for failing him, and then Qui-Gon would be like, nah, bro, it was my bad, I fucked up, I saw potential in the little shit, and I'm paraphrasing here. Now remember the main reason why Obi-Wan is on Tatooine?
I will take the child and watch over him.
Yeah, he's protecting Luke, but protecting him from what? I mean, wouldn't Luke be safe without Obi-Wan? The Empire certainly doesn't know he's there. Hell, at this point in the timeline, the Empire doesn't even know he exists. Vader, for instance, would naturally assume his child died along with Padme. So I ask, what's the threat here? Won't be much of a movie without one. Well, remember, folks, Tatooine is a dangerous-ass place. I mean, look what happened to Luke's grandmother, for example.
Pull me closer in. It's getting dark.
So yeah, they're sand people. Granted, their population is down about 50, but they are still a credible threat. But you've also got various crime families on Tatooine, like the Hutts. Bounty hunters will be commonplace, and there'll be a whole manner of dangerous animals prowling the desert. Crate dragging anyone. I mean, how awesome would it be to have Obi-Wan fight one in this movie? It would explain where the skeletal remains that 3PO walks by came from.
Season
Plus, it would
2.
also explain where Obi-Wan learnt the crate dragon cry he uses on the Sand People. But what would be the major threat in this movie? I mean, even if the Empire had a run-in with Owen and Beru prior to Episode 4, it would make zero sense for them to stay at the farm. And as we know, they do. But the only reason why anyone would mess with Luke in particular is if they knew Vader had a son and they were also an Empire sympathizer. So who else knew that Padme gave birth apart from Obi-Wan, Yoda and Bail Organa? It was the pregnancy droid. This fucker. Right here is the true Phantom Menace. This is the droid I'm looking for. No? Okay. I think the villain would have to be unrelated then. Perhaps Uncle Owen does something stupid and ends up owing money to the Hutts, or maybe Luke gets kidnapped and forced into slavery, kind of like Anakin.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
And then Obi-Wan has to save him. Luke could then show some light force capabilities, and Obi-Wan's like, oh, shit, here we go again. And then Ben thinks about training Luke at a young age, and then he's like, yeah, there's no need. Yet. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, whoa, are you suggesting that prior to episode 4, Ben and Luke actually meet? Well, judging by Luke's response to Ben when he rescues him from the Sand People, I would say yes.
Ben? Ben Kenobi? Boy, am I glad to see you.
You see, Luke recognizes him. He's glad to see him. I don't think you'd say you were glad to see someone you've just met for the first time. Hey, I'm Ross. Oh, nice to meet you, Ross. Boy, am I glad to see you. Okay. I mean, yeah, Luke's glad to see Ben because he saved him, but he words it as if he's glad to see Ben specifically. He knows him. That being said, I don't think Luke and Ben are best buddies or anything. Judging by what Luke says earlier in the film, my guess is that Luke has met Ben, but only once or twice, and many years prior to A New Hope.
Old Ben lives out beyond the Dune Sea. He's kind of a strange old hermit.
So Luke would be about 5 years old in this proposed film. And now I know what a lot of you are thinking.
I've been wondering, what are midi-chlorians? Come on, let's go and play ball.
Yeah, kids have never been particularly good in Star Wars movies. But I just got finished watching the first season of Stranger Things, and as long as you've got a good casting director, you can most definitely find good kid actors. But to be fair against Jake Lloyd, I honestly don't think he was that bad. He did show promise in some scenes. What let him down was the direction he was given. So yeah, Ben would rescue Luke and protect him. Kind of like Mercury Rising, but instead of the kid being autistic, the kid is force sensitive. Oh, and given Luke's pretty young age in this film, it would allow him to be familiar with Ben, but not by a lot. And living with Owen all these years would allow Luke's perception of Ben to slowly become that of an old hermit once again. But some part of Luke still remembers how good a man Ben is. The film would then end with like a final goodbye between Ben and Luke. They'd see eye to eye as Ben walks off in the sunset, and it'd get you there, right in the feels. Obi-Wan, A Star Wars Story. Of the 5 films I've suggested, I can actually see this one being the most likely to get made. Will it ever come to fruition? Only time will tell.
Impossible to see. The future is.
So there we go, guys, my 5 picks for future Star Wars story movies. Apologies if I didn't include an idea of yours. I realize there's many popular requests, a Yoda movie, a Darth Maul spin-off, a Saw film starring Jar Jar Binks as one of the victims. All very promising ideas. But if you do have another spin-off idea I haven't mentioned, pop it below in the comments and let's get a discussion going. I've been the Unusual Suspect. Take care, stay awesome, and may the Force be with you like a sanitary towel. Always. Peace.
Okay. Yes, so that's pretty awesome. The Obi-Wan show is out now, and I think actually the idea for Obi-Wan and Luke to have going on an adventure, that could be a cool idea for season 2. Yeah, not really much I can talk about there. We got the Obi-Wan show. We're probably going to get season 2 of the Obi-Wan show. And yeah, I really want some of the stuff we talk about here to come up in that show. Like Obi-Wan and Luke actually going on an adventure. You know, we knew at the first meet at the end of Kenobi was so 6, and he said, "Hello there." Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash the like button. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.